Marriage and Divorce Through Eyes of the Society by Wanika Jones. What is family life? How do people describe the ideal family? Do people see the ideal family as a woman, a man, and a child? Or can the ideal family be exceptional when it comes to a stepfather or a stepmother? Or what if there's a single parent involved in a child's life? What if the mom is the only one there to raise the child? Or the dad is the only one there to raise the child? There are many questions regarding what is family and what exactly is the perfect family. What about when you commit yourself to another person and vow to live with them for the rest of your life? Marriage is the union of two people that is recognized by law or cultural norm. This is a happy time in someone's life. How do you feel about marriage? What happens when marriage don't last and ends in divorce, where the two people who are once in love split and go their separate ways? State your name.
Mark Jackson.
And are you 35 and above?
Yes.
Okay. First question. What do you consider to be a family?
Family is, a complete home. It's a home, you're saying. It's where the heart is. It's where a mother, a father, and multiple children or one child, is together, thriving and living.
Okay, my name is Virginia Fallon.
And you're 35 years and older? Just say yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, first question. What do you consider to be a family?
A family to me is husband, wife, or children.
Be a family. Okay.
I consider a family to be a group of people who love each other and care about each other and who have some type of blood bond between each other.
To be a family.
Family is a structure of a male and female that are married and they have children.
So, your name?
Floyd Howard.
Okay, are you 35 years old?
Yes.
What do you consider a family?
I consider family, is when you have someone that gonna be by your side and you by their side and you go 50-50,
So I'm supposed to say my name now?
Yeah.
Larry Hale.
Are you 35 years or older?
Yes.
Okay. A family.
Well, Nika, a family consists of love, character, and godly.
A family. Okay.
Father, wife, and kids.
A father and wife and kids?
Children. I hate the word kids.
So a father, wife, and kids, that's all there is to a family?
No, that's the physical part. Love. Sitting down, eating together like we are now, me and you and my father.
A family.
What do I consider to be a family? You mean as many people or?
Just what do you, general, like what do you feel is a family? Be involved, like uncles and aunts, like what do you feel is just a general family?
Traditional, a man and a woman and their children is a family.
Say your name.
Stephen Samuels.
And are you 35 years and older?
Yes.
Okay. What do you consider to be a family?
As far as what?
Just what do you think a family is like as far as
Man, woman, and children, consisting of both their immediate families coming together and becoming a new family.
Okay. Okay. Why do you think family life is different than from how it used to be?
It's all in morals.
Morals,
The
okay.
90s were like, it was a more family-based time. You know what I'm saying? It was a time where it was bringing families together. You know what I'm saying? Versus now, it was like, you know, everybody's kind of separated. You know what I'm saying? It's like they lost and trying to find their way. So it's that foundation. You know what I'm saying? And being in an environment where somebody's telling you, yo, or they were breeding you to be like, look, you go out and you find your husband, or look, you go out, you know what I'm saying, you find your wife, you know what I'm saying, you start a family and do it the right way.
Okay. Why do you think family life is different than how it used to be?
Because women now are more educated, and they are moving up in the corporate world, getting jobs that they can support themselves, and they no longer want to be labeled as just a housewife. They want to do something to value who they really are and their capabilities.
How it used to be.
I think it goes back to that whole divorce being socially acceptable, and then I do believe that people don't take the time necessary to get to know who they're dealing with prior to getting married or jumping in and having relations and then having a child and making a baby and building a family, then realizing I have nothing in common with this person. This person has nothing in common with me. We're not compatible at all. We have this child that we have to take care of. We rushed into a marriage because I was pregnant and I didn't want to have the baby out of wedlock. But through it all, I'm still not happy. I need to get away from this. I don't want to be a part of it. So I believe through the years it's changed because you took more time to get to know a person. You actually went on dates and things of that nature where you talked and communicated rather than hanging out watching movies and, you know, going to the next level or doing things like that, where it becomes a lot easier for you to have a child,
right,
rather than taking the time and getting to know that person and realizing I truly do love you, care about you, and have these feelings for you. It's not, you know, the other way around, like, oh, I had a child, so now I have to create feelings for you because we have to raise this child because I'm a Christian and I don't want to raise my baby out of wedlock. I want to make sure that I'm, you know, staying in the Word, when that's not always the case, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to follow a path, and I feel like we don't do it anymore. I feel like we talk to each other, quote unquote, and then all of a sudden we're in love after we've been talking for a week or 2 weeks.
Right.
And it's not that sense of development and
how it used to be.
Right. Because the respect part. Nobody want to respect anybody. The children don't want to respect. The parents don't teach them to say, excuse me. Or you step on somebody's toe, say, I'm sorry. You ask somebody for something, you say, please, would you give me a piece of thing, a piece of bread? So it's evaporating. It should be for a better cause, but it's for a worse cause.
To be?
Absolutely. Family life has changed. I will not use the term evolved. It has changed through legislation. It once was male and female children. Now it's female, or male children, or male and female children, or just a couple.
It's like little.
Things were a lot simpler then. You didn't have as many distractions back then, and people were more dedicated than they are now. Now we got all these distractions with like the internet, social media, video games, and people don't take it serious no more.
Why do you think family life is different now than how it used to be?
Well, it used to be that the woman stayed at home and raised the kids, and the man worked, and the man disciplined the kids. But today, in today's society, the woman has to work too.
Why do you think family life is different than how it used to
back
be?
in the day, when family was sticking together, you know, it was the love, you know what I'm saying, where everybody had each other back. Now these days, you know, you don't know who to trust.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's how I
Just
feel
a
about that.
change in a generational change in values. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Next question. What are your views on marriage and divorce?
Marriage is a eternal partnership, you know what I'm saying, for life. So that's I don't believe in divorce. I don't believe in quitting, you know what I'm saying, because that's like me quitting on God, you know what I'm saying. He'll never quit on us, so I'm not gonna quit on my wife.
Okay. Next question. What are your views on marriage and what are your views on divorce?
Well, marriage is a sacred bond. If you say the words "I do," and till death do you part, you're supposed to live that. No matter what. But sometimes people marry too quick and don't know the person, and have to get separated.
Go.
Marriage is a beautiful thing. God ordained marriages. A divorce is an ugly thing, but they happen. And I don't think nobody should divorce unless there's absolutely no choice. It can't be fixed.
What are your views on marriage?
Oh. My views on marriage. Marriage is a sacred bond between two people who truly love each other. That's coveted by the church. Usually held by, some level of standard of we go from being two separate entities to one. No longer is it me and you, but us together. It's, the coming together of two people.
Okay. What are your views on divorce?
To be 100% honest, I really don't think people should get divorced. I really think that you should, if you made that bond or you made that commitment to, love somebody through sickness and health, you should try to work it out.
Right.
You should try your best to, hold on to whatever you have and salvage whatever you have.
Divorce.
My views on marriage is an agreement between male and female, using basic principles to come together in a civil union. My rules on divorce, my views on divorce is simply when a male and female are not in agreement and decide to go their separate ways.
I've never been divorced, but you can get angry toward each other before you get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
About lies, about spending the household money on something that you shouldn't and know you need it. About partying up and drinking up money that needs to go for the house. And so they just get angry about it. And sometimes it causes a fight.
Mm-hmm. Views on divorce.
I think marriage is a beautiful thing if you're married for love. And if it's not for love, it won't last. But for love, you'll go to the end with it.
And what do you feel about divorce?
If you can't get along, that's the best thing because somebody will get hurt.
Okay.
But just getting a divorce because it's ready for you, no.
Next question. What are your views on marriage and divorce?
Okay, my views. One view of marriage. If a married person lives longer than a single person, it has been known to be a proven fact because their socialization and conversation skills and all are better. And a lot of time, people that are not married get depressed and lonely, and they are more suicidal. So, I strongly recommend.
How do you feel about marriage and how do you feel about divorce?
Well, I mean, when you really marry someone, you're supposed to be able to be with them no matter what. You know what I'm saying? No matter, I mean, you all go through some things at times, but still, if you work it out together, then you don't have nothing to worry about. But then when you can't get together with one another, then I feel like it's time to separate because a man don't deserve to put his hand on a woman. You know what I'm saying? Or a woman should hit a man. You know. And if you got to come where you got to use your hand in a relationship, then you should, divorce or split, separate.
What is your views on marriage and what is your views on divorce?
I think marriage is something between a man and a woman, and if you try it and it doesn't work out, and if you've both given it your best effort, there's no need in trying to fix something that's broken. So I support divorce.
Did you know if divorce doesn't happen and the marriage is strong and lasts, that it can actually benefit a man's life? Marriage has been shown that it can benefit a man's life and be a positive force. Makes men less likely to visit bars and engage in risky behavior. Men who are married and live longer are healthier overall, and they express greater satisfaction in their lives. The sense of marriage plays an important role for a man's happiness and also helps them define their masculinity. Alright, next question. Sometimes marriage does not last and families split and sometimes form new families. Statistics show 1,300 new step families are forming each day. How do you feel about that?
That mean that people learning to love, people learning to grow. If you're saying that step families are starting to, show up more, that means that a lot of men are starting to understand that single women they could be put in a situation where they are a single parent. You know what I'm saying? They can overlook the fact, and they still love the child and still love the mother. And they can come together in union. You know what I'm saying? To make it work. You know what I'm saying? That's
fine. When you got love, step family is just like your own, because the little children will come in and you just nestle them and have a good time for them, and you can't tell one who from the other. Love is the thing about it, and you don't know why people break up.
Okay.
But that shouldn't affect the children.
Next question. Sometimes marriage does not last and families split and sometimes form new families. Statistics show 1,300 new step families are forming each day. How do you feel about that?
No. Some people cannot get along. Again, if you don't know the person you're with and trust the person you're with, things go wrong, and you got to move on.
About that.
Actually, I'm a part of a step family. My mom got separated from my dad, then got a divorce, and now she has a new husband, and I have two new siblings. It can be straining at times because I don't understand, in my mind, having two new siblings out of nowhere and having to grow that bond of family, as I said, without that blood relationship. But it's almost forced upon you that these are your brothers and sisters. You have to love them. You have to care for them. And to me, I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up with these people. I didn't grow up knowing this is my brother and my sister. These are two strangers to me that I'm getting to know just like I would get to know any of my friends who I met on this collegiate level here at Tuskegee. So in the same time span, I'm supposed to love these people more than I love the friends that I've made, and it kind of confuses me sometimes how my mom pushes me and tells me, well, everybody you meet ain't your friend, but you want me to turn around and love these two, although they're not, they're kids, but still, they do things that annoy me, just
Right.
like, my friends do things that annoy me. So I really believe that, it's a growing epidemic because divorce is becoming more socially acceptable. Um, but it does put a strain on the way people view and look at things in the household.
How do you feel about that?
That's a reality, and that happens when it goes back to the question of the views on divorce. If a family is no longer together, then a new family begins, and that creates the step family.
It's forming every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blessing. New family should form. That's better than divorces and people not being together.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's awful, but I think that if it comes to the point that you have to divorce, you have to find a way to get along with the previous partner because it's still part of that family. If they have
And sometimes form new families. Statistics show that 1,300 new step families are forming each day. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about family lasting and not lasting?
Well, how do you feel about step families forming more now than just families sticking together?
Step families sticking together more than regular family?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way I feel about that is, I guess, your own kind is the one that want to tear you down, and to be the one that not kin to you, the one that'll help you faster, better, in life.
Yeah. How often do you think the average American marriage lasts?
Average, I'd probably say like probably 10 years.
10 years.
Average, I don't know, like, yeah, maybe 10 years.
10 years? Okay. Can marriage last?
The average American marriage probably lasts 2 years at the most.
2 years. How often do you think the average American marriage lasts?
not more than 10 years.
Not more than 10 years? How long do you think the average American marriage lasts?
Well, it lasts until one divorces, one dies.
Right. How often do you think the average American family lasts?
A marriage?
Yeah, how often do you think the average marriage, an American marriage lasts?
When you should marry until death do we part. And you can't tell how long you're gonna live. Some folks stay married a short while, for years. Some of them 50 years or older. And it just all depends on how the culture and how well their living conditions are.
Marriage lasts. Okay.
I believe the average American marriage lasts, I want to say, somewhere around.
How often do you think the average American marriage lasts?
5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. American marriage lasts.
Average, I would say anywhere between 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years? Okay. How often do you think the average American marriage lasts?
How long?
Mm-hmm.
20, 30 years.
How often do you think the average American marriage lasts?
I would say 12 years.
Okay, 50% of women and 30% of men are shown to still be angry with their former spouse after divorce. Why do you think there is much anger and animosity between one another after that situation has happened?
Failed communication. You know what I'm saying? Communication is key in a relationship. So if they're not communicating effectively, whatever they may be feeling is still being left unsaid. So those feelings could be harbored. You know what I'm saying? Men and women both are subjective to holding grudges. So you know what I'm saying? It's just on them.
Animosity between two people.
I think it's got a lot to do with the way the divorce ended, and it shouldn't be like that because both of them are adults. They should handle that better.
50% of women and 30% of men are shown to still be angry with their former spouse after divorce. Why do you think there is so much anger and animosity between the two people?
Because they was not friends before they got married.
After divorce?
Well, in the first place, it might have been angry before they divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably was the reason they divorced.
Right. 50% of women and 30% of men are shown to still be angry with their former spouse after divorce. Why do you think there is so much anger and animosity between another after divorce happens?
I think it's the blame game. One blame the other for the situation, and like a lot of time they don't have communication within the marriage, and a lot of time they don't want demands placed on them.
Anger.
There is an emotional tie amongst those individuals because of their previous relationships. So even if they do move on, there's still that tie to them, and they harbor ill feelings.
Well, that all depends. That comes from being jealous of one another, just hatred. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that way.
All right. 50% of women and 30% of men are shown to still be angry with their former spouse after divorce. Why do you think there is so much anger and animosity between two people after they divorce?
They were never totally honest with each other about why they had to separate. That's it.
Okay. What factors do you feel like decrease the chances of people not getting a divorce after being married for a certain amount of time?
Remembering the reason why you got married, being spontaneous, that open line of communication I was talking about earlier, and making sure that the person that you married is your best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like waking up to your best friend, being able to talk to your best friend about any and everything that bothers you. You know what I'm saying? So if your wife is your best friend, you don't have that problem.
Communication, financial communication, and being in agreement with a lot of resolutions in regard to social issues.
They're married.
Going to counseling
Counseling?
and going to somebody that is spiritually teach them about what God said about marriage, and see if they start practicing that. That's the only way you can do it. When you go on your own or getting even with somebody, it just causes trouble.
Mhm.
It causes somebody to get hurt. And that's counseling and going to church, go and seek
People
God.
do to not
Okay.
get a divorce if there's trouble in a marriage?
Okay. Communication is the world's greatest thing, but yet we do it less. So they got to learn how to communicate. They got to learn how to talk out their problems. They have to learn how to make time to spend with their mate, at least a date night, maybe once a month or whatever. So the main thing, they got to learn how to share responsibilities too within the marriage. And like most divorces are financial. So, you know, they have to learn how to work together.
How do you feel about respect? What do you mean by respect?
Respect is the key to having a successful life. When you do something for me, I say thank you. I said, would you please hand me this and that? Don't look at the age, gentlemen. Look at the person. And they'll do the same thing. People learn from what they see and what they do, not from what you teach them. Because they don't pay no attention to the book.
Mhm.
They can copy it out.
Right.
And right now, 90% of the children that's growing up, they can't read nothing. And they go to the computer, go somewhere, and find the answer. Look up your answer. Put your brains to use.
What factors do you feel like decreases the chances of people not getting a divorce after being married?
Kids. Kids.
Why do you feel like that?
Oh. Kids are people. A lot of people don't believe it, but kids hold the family together.
Mhm.
Some people don't want to hurt their kids, and kids can tear a family apart
Right.
because some people don't believe in discipline them, and one might believe in discipline, and one might not, and that causes problems.
What factors do you feel like decrease the chances of people not getting a divorce after being married for a certain amount of time?
Decreases the chances of not getting a divorce.
Mhm.
Communication more than anything. Honesty, love, just being on the same page with each other.
What are factors that you think decrease the chances of people getting a divorce after they get married?
I think they have to be decided for each individual.
Mhm.
Each individual is different.
Mhm.
One that may want to get a divorce and some don't.
Right. Okay. What factors do you feel like decrease the chances of people getting a divorce after they've been married for several years?
What factor did that cause that? Or what?
Well, what factors do people should take to not, make the risk of divorce happen in their marriage? Like, what do you think people
I
should
feel
do?
like they should separate first and try to see, to be able to give one another a chance to be able to feel one another on the other end of the stick, and see how the other side is out there. And if they're not working the way that it should be working out there, then they have no choice but to come back together.
Right. Okay. What factors do you feel like decrease the chances of people divorcing after they get married?
Communication and a clear understanding of what each person was expecting from the relationship.
Okay. Do you believe children deal with their parents divorcing better than their actual parents?
Kind of. It kind of depends on the child. It affects everybody differently, you know what I'm saying? And then it also depends on the age of the child, you know what I'm saying? Because that determines like how close the parents were to the child. So that situation can be touching, you know what I'm saying? Because I went through a divorce, but it's all in, you know what I'm saying, how you was raised afterwards.
Do you believe children deal with divorce better than their parents?
No. No, I don't think the children deal with it very well. The parents might think about that before they get there.
Are impacted by divorce like their parents are?
Yes.
And do you think that children deal with divorce better than their parents?
It's a hard job for both of them to endure. The parents are older and can understand more than the child can. But when they keep the love in a while, the children can associate with each, the daddy and the mom. That makes it easier.
Okay. I believe children deal with divorce issues better than their parents.
It depends. It depends on how young they are, the degree of the divorce, and the degree of how much they know about the divorce. So it is contingent on the child themselves and their individual points of view.
Their parents.
I believe it can hurt the child just as much as it hurts the parents. Sometimes I believe parents cope a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, the parents who are in the midst of getting divorced realize that they no longer love each other and don't care about each other, whereas the child doesn't understand why mommy and daddy are no longer together. Why are these people who are both supposed to be in my life, and what they see in society as two people that they should have in their household are no longer there, and you're shuffling between one house or another while your friends go away, you know, on vacations with their parents, but you're like, oh, I'm going with just my mom or just my dad. They don't want to be with each other anymore. They don't want to be, you know, around each other. So I believe parents can cope better than children.
Right. Better than the parents?
Absolutely not. Every child wants to see their parents together.
Why do you feel like that?
Because that's the way it should be. You're supposed to have both parents. I know it don't always work that way, but you should have both parents.
Do you believe children deal with divorce better than their parents?
No. And yes, I mean, it's kind of mixed because some children feel like they the cause of the divorce. And a lot of them after divorce, their grades drop in school, they become withdrawn and unhappy. And then on the other hand, they want mom and daddy to get back together. And they feel like maybe they are to blame for them breaking up. So,
do you believe children deal with divorce issues better than their actual parents?
No. If they're used to having both parents there, and then one leaves, no, they don't deal with it.
Better than the parents actually do?
No, I don't feel that way because I feel like all children need a parent in their life as they're growing up. Because the mother can't teach the child everything. You know, you got to have that father figure in your life too.
What factors do you feel like decreases the chances of people not getting a divorce after being married?
Kids.
Why do you feel like that?
Well, kids are people. A lot of people don't believe it, but kids hold the family together.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't want to hurt their kids, and kids can tear a family apart.
Right.
Because some people don't believe in disciplining them, and one might believe in discipline, and one might not, and that causes problems.
Okay. Do you believe children deal with divorce better than their parents?
I think that it would vary from family to family.
Why is that?
Some families have a closer relationship with each other, and some families have a loose relationship. So being separated might not affect you if you're not close to that person in the beginning.
How do you feel about children living in a single parent household?
I mean, we do good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we do. Like, it gives us, what it does is gives us a blueprint to show what not to do. You know what I'm saying? It gives us a format of, these are the things that I lacked, I missed in life. You know what I'm saying? Not having a father in the household. So these are going to be the things that I make sure that I instill in my children. Make sure I'm going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I do all the things and give all the love that I didn't have growing up. So I think it's, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on the person. But I think we come out pretty good.
How do you feel about a child living in a single parent household?
I feel that that child can be quite successful, whether they are in a single parent household or a dual parent household, because I myself am from a single parent household, and I believe I have reached a significant level of success.
How do you feel about children living in a single parent household?
If the parents strong-willed and they've been disciplined, the kids will be disciplined. You raise a kid like you was raised. Some of them do, some of them don't. But if there's no discipline in it, it don't work.
How do you feel about a child living in a single parent household?
If they got love, it's fine. That child needs to be brought up in a godly home and fed nutrition food, not what he likes, and give him guidance and discipline, and they grow up fine.
Do you believe children deal with divorce issues better than their actual parents?
No. If they're used to having both parents there and then one leaves, no, they don't deal with it.
Being that I grew up that way after my mom and dad got divorced, it wasn't easy, but my mom did what she had to do to, make sure that me and my brother were provided for and we were cared for. But it is a strain. It does put a strain on your outlook on things, especially when, you have friends who talk about, oh, well, my mom and dad are doing this, and you're like, well, I don't really talk to my dad, or I don't really have communication with my dad because my mom doesn't like him, or my mom doesn't do this. So it puts a strain on the child mentally, on the fact, or for the fact that he doesn't know, or she doesn't know, why their household isn't like what society says it should be, a mom and dad and a child. But I do believe that it's a statistic that can be overcome. You don't have to be, falls for, oh, because I didn't have my dad in my life, I chose this path. No, you can choose whatever path you want. Your parents don't define who you are. So I really do believe it does weigh a toll, but the child can ultimately overcome the situation.
How do you feel about children living in a single parent household?
I think it's according to that single parent. Some single parents do a great job of rearing their children, but most times single parents need help. If you have extended family like grandparents or aunts and whatever to pitch in, or the male figure or the female, so they kind of need help, but most of them are pretty well balanced children because there's so many single parents nowadays. So most of them are just quite well.
How do you feel about children living in a single parent household?
Well, if it's the best place for them to live, I think that's where they're supposed to be. If the household is best and it's a single person, they don't have another choice.
Mm-hmm. In a single parent household.
As long as the parent that's not living there make their presence felt, that's better than just seeing one parent and not seeing the other one.
How do you feel about children in general, living in a single parent household?
Well, I feel that it's wrong, you know what I'm saying? I feel that back to the other question that you had asked me, that both parents should be in the house together to raise that child, because you can learn a whole lot more and achieve a whole lot more in life.
How do you feel about children living in a single parent household?
It's my opinion that a circular family is best. But situations are what they are. So as long as the single parent is doing the best that they can and making sure that their child is provided for, make the best of that situation.
Okay. From 1980 to 2005, statistics have shown marriage rates have decreased and divorce rates have decreased. Why do you feel this is happening?
Just the idea of marriage is dwindling. You know what I'm saying? It's not as prevalent as it used to be, and people just they just hooking up and getting out of there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talking or dating. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really taking that leap and being like, yo, this is somebody. This is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. This is the person I want to build my life with. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why it's so stagnant.
From 1980 to 2005, statistics have shown marriage rates have decreased and divorce rates have decreased. Why do you feel this is happening?
Because ain't nobody really faithful no more. It's all about getting one on somebody, getting
Statistics
one up.
have shown that marriage rates have decreased and divorce rates have decreased. Why do you feel like this is happening?
A significant foundation has not been established, and with the social norms and various social changes, the foundation that proved to be successful in the past 40 years is not prevalent in today's time. Therefore, you see a high level of divorce. So it's more so a matter of statistics. 50 years ago, low level of divorce or a low number of divorce, and in today's time, a high level of divorce. So there has been some rift, and it stems from the change in the socio-economic familiar
This is happening.
I feel it's happening because society have eliminated marriage. Just live together. Get an apartment and live together. Whoever got a good job, they pay the rent. They have to buy the apartment. And that's what it is. It's not that they were married for love. They just married for just get away from home.
Okay.
It
And what was the
depends
other
on the individuals,
Mm-hmm.
and that's true. But I wouldn't say more and more the other, because it's about people, I guess, or either the individuals. It depends on the individual.
So it depends on the person, if like the wedlock and the living alone and two people in the household working together, that just depends on each person.
Right.
Okay.
It depends on both of the person, what they want to do about it.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to do it like that, if they want to do it the other way.
Okay.
And they don't have the money to get a divorce. I'm used to it, what cost $150 get a divorce. Now everybody want to split up everything and take everything. So as that song says, it's cheaper to keep her.
And it leaves the female crippled and dependent. So they resent that fact that they didn't go on and do what they set out to accomplish in their adult life.
From 1980 to 2005, statistics have shown marriage rates have decreased and divorce rates have decreased as well. Why do you feel this is happening?
You saying that it decreased or increased?
They both decreased.
Probably because I feel like it decreased because I think that everybody's starting to come together now because of the economy and all that.
So you think it's because of the economic situation that we're in right now? It's helping out?
Yeah, it's helping out. Yeah.
Okay. From 1980 to 2005, statistics have shown marriage rates have decreased and divorce rates have decreased. Why do you feel this is happening?
People are staying single longer, and I think that becomes a lifestyle. Once you've been single for so long, it just becomes a lifestyle, so fewer people are getting married.
I think people are learning how to love each other more now. And I think the family structure was stronger then than it is now.
You see family life from when you were little compared to now?
Well, things was more stricter for children and parents. I mean, their children's when we had it was different in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's different. The children, some children and some families let their children do the raising, and they listen to what the children say do, and they do what they want to do.
Right. How do you feel that gender roles play a part in society today than how it used to be when you were little, as far as what the man can do and what the woman can do?
Well, I don't know. And everybody has their own opinion, and what, the ones have his opinion and they'll have theirs, and that's what the couple decide which one want to do, and then they do which one.
Right. Okay.
It was harder. Now, it's still hard, but it's much easier.
Mm-hmm.
For example, to do a washing, you had to either draw your water, heat it in a pot, put it in a tub, use a washboard, wring it out, put it in another tub to rinse. And then after you get it rinsed, from maybe 1 or 2 water, you had to wring them out, take them out, and hang them on the line. And now, you just come back, put them in your Maytag, put some soap in it, put something, close the door, and come back later on, take it out, throw it in the dryer, and before you know it, you can be wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference, but it still was good. It was hard work before, but it was done with love because a bunch of people would get together and wash. And then you wear your clothes, come from church, you take the church clothes off and hang them up. They wouldn't get dirty. They didn't have to be washed. Hang them up, you can wear them again another Sunday. And that's the same way about your blue jeans. You had blue jeans to wear to school or wherever you're going. You come back, take them out, and put on your play clothes. That preserved them and kept them. So that's some of the difference.
Okay. So talk to me about how family life was different when you was a little girl till now.
See, I'm 79 years old, and different was we didn't have all the modern convenience. We walked to church, we walked back. We didn't have a car till a long time after we remember that car. no different. You eat and sleep. You do your chores. You have respect for grown up. You have respect for other kids. You don't use ugly words. And you just live a godly life. And life is what you put in it. If you want to be nothing, you can be nothing. But if you want to make something out of yourself, you won't pick up trashy stuff. You pick up a book. You start reading. You learn a little play and get up and perform it. You go to Sunday school and listen to what says the Lord. You learn Bible verses and take all filth out of your mouth. That will not help you.
And how do you feel about gender roles as far as the man and woman's role back when you was younger compared to now?
The woman was the husband's helpmate, and they worked together. She saw to that the food was prepared. She saw that the house was straightened up, washing done. She saw that the husband had clean clothes, good clothes, and they were more different then than now. Now everybody on his own. You don't know what your husband gonna wear, or why he got it, and so you're two separate folks. Then you was together.
Okay.
Now you're separate.
There are more children born out of wedlock. Both parents are working and more adults are living alone. Do you think these trends can be reversed?
Yes, they can be reversed with the continuation of a two-parent household and the lack of desire of falling into the lifestyle of a capitalistic way of life that can help remedy the image of out of wedlock children, one-parent households, and getting back to a more stable two-parent household. We see examples of this.
Roles can be reversed.
Yes, they have to be taught. They will have to listen. They weren't just born accidentally. It happened. It's something happened. And you bought them children. Then they don't have time to really raise them children. And so many children is raised by the grandparents. The parents, then they just see them and they give them a piece of candy or something, but they don't sit down with them and love them, do the hair. It's more to rearing a baby than just pushing a baby. The baby got to be fed, it got to be clean, it got to be nurtured, you got to let them know you love it, and he have to be a loving person.
How do you feel about both the man and the woman going to work instead of the man working and the woman staying at the house?
The woman's job is at the home. If you don't overspend your budget, your wife can stay at the home. You try to buy what the Jones buy, and you can't do it. You buy whatever your budget lets you. Take care of what you have, polish it up, keep it clean, and it'll last.
Do you think these things can be changed?
They can be changed simply by accepting the idea that there's more stability with a two-parent household, more stability with better communication, and more stability with the understanding that a two-parent household is important for the success of parents and children.
What society said.
What do you mean by be changed what the Bible tells you to do?
They don't tell you to live together. They tell you get you a wife or get you a husband. You provide for their wife and their husband. But what the husband bring in, the wife prepared, and you can live happy. If you can't get 2 cars, just have 1 car. We get greedy over what somebody else gets. So take care of what you have, and it'll serve the same purpose as 2